Hey, welcome back to the game. The news from the gaming that had taken place on the 31st of January 2017. A lot happened last week, and I hope to make the video clear and as complete, but shorter, because I want you to be able to listen to the whole video. So, where we last left our heroes, we tried something new, a new version of the Blood Brothers gem routine that I had previously used 5 or 6 years ago. And, oh no, less than that. 4. Okay. Anyways, so we start out with our heroes. It's Earth 202. And Hans Mikkelsen is a scientist in Munich, Germany, and he's a physicist, knowing anything theoretical physicist, I think Joel said. Anyways, Han, while he's working, gets the mysterious clock face in front of him. The clock face is a travel mode that ends up bringing people to Cleftlan, and Hans is playing this and doesn't know what's going on. But when he goes and looks in a mirror here, he sees that the face that he sees is actually that of Joel Hastings, which totally would bug this guy out. And then that's when he gets the download. Yes, Joel Hastings from the current game downloads into him and takes over his body and life, but yet he still has his memories and even thinks somewhat still in German. And Hans is, well, a physicist or something, so he's probably like 30 some years old. Eventually, now that Joel's inside of him, gets out of the building, because he knows that clock face with the 12, 6, 3, and 9, it's different for this video. I know it's kind of got this reflection thing going. He knows that if he gets outside, that the clock face will then go on the ground. Wait, Munich, Germany is up here. Oh, boom. Okay, so he goes and does that, and as he's picking his number to go on to, And as he's being teleported to the realm of Cleftlan. This is Cleftlan without the D, the original Cleftlan. Created centuries ago by me and my friends back in high school. So, as he's being teleported there, something happens to his hand and he gets his bloodstone put into it by it's a gem. It's an ore stone, really. That it glows sometimes, so that's why it's gemish. And a girl with multicolored hair. It changes colors, not all different colors. Bam, and he's thinking, "Oh, that's Wanda." And then he goes to Cleftlan. At the same time, well, not really at the same time, but this is happening around noon on a Tuesday, which is 31 January 2017, in Seattle, Washington, which is way the blank over here, and around noon on Tuesday. So it's not the exact same time as in Germany. It's happening later, but noon Tuesday. Brandon Steven Krenova in Seattle, Washington, is going to school at Washington State. And if that's the one that is actually, there's a University of Washington. I think it's Washington State. I should have done my research. He's going to school, and some other thing pops up. Oh my gosh, I see this clock face here. What do I do? And as he goes in the mirror in the bathroom, because he was in the cafeteria at the school, because he's kind of poor kid, and he's a skater, so he's got his backpack and a skateboard with him. bam, he looks in the mirror and sees Ray. Ray downloads to him, and then Ray goes, "Oh, all I gotta do is get outside," and he does, and he picks a number. Bloodstone thing happens too, right on the back of the right hand, and he goes to Cleftlan. Next in Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee. Bammo, right here. Sam Knoxville. Yeah, weird. Teacher in a high school or middle school and he teaches history and knows a lot about history or whatever. Is teaching, actually having lunch with other teachers at this school, and Clockface pops up and he looks in a mirror, and then bam, Chris Rich who's playing him, gets downloaded in. I'm just doing this for fun. I want to do more animation coming up in the next couple weeks. Maybe I'll do actual pictures and slide them into this, but I just don't have the time to add that to my presentation. I will try. Maybe this will make a difference someday. Anyways, so I'll be animated instead. So Sam Knoxville downloaded with Chris. Realized I gotta get outside the school. He does in snow and stuff because it's winter time. 31 January, Tuesday, 2017, and looks outside. The all image is that this face goes onto the ground, and clock face, and then when it hits the ground, 12 goes to the north, and it stays there on the ground, but you can't walk away to where you can't see it. It holds you there, and with it holding you there, it forces you. You got to choose a number, and the number corresponds to that you choose to walk onto this clock face that's lying on the ground to a certain place in Cleftlan, and he does it. Well, what they don't know, and the first to arrive in Cleftlan is Brandon. Brandon arrives first and has chosen 3, so he appears in the Witch's Hill across the river from Cleftlan, not far from Old Cleftlan. And when he appears, as the other 2 appear in their other places, the Bloodstone pulls them. This is called the Blood Brothers Stone thing. This effect that we've played before, but these guys they're kind of similar to it, but you guys haven't heard of it yet. So check it out, Blood Brothers Stone. They're pulled together to the first one, and right now the lead guy is Brandon. So Sam and Hans appear with Brandon. Actually, Sam doesn't come yet. Sam comes in later. All right, so he's later. So it's really Brandon, Hans, and they have to deal with something, some sort of witch with some darkness stuff, and then she's tracking down the guys, and they're like, "Oh man, what's this freaky blackness coming through?" Kind of Blair Witchy, but during the daytime, and surprisingly how scary things can be in the daytime. So they run and try to fight this thing. As Joel's trying to play Hans, he's realizing this guy doesn't know, can't use his powers of gravity is really hard to game, and he's having a hard time. So he eventually he uses some of the gravity stuff on the witch that's in this darkness, and he's trying to hurt them and causes the darkness to stop or whatever. Hans grabs Brandon, and they get the heck out of Dodge. And by 0G floating up and over the trees, and we had a lot of discussions of scientifically how these powers would work. It's fun to try something we haven't done before. So They eventually fly over the walls of old Cleftlan, 60 some feet high, old walls, though not like the walls that are built around the rest of main Cleftlan. Old Cleftlan, and is tight walled and real medieval looking. Really steep and different, which switch. It's hard to say. The streets going every which way, and cobblestone streets. It's medieval. Well, when they come over the wall, and there are guards there looking for dragons. This is a big thing in Cleftlan is dragons, and they come over in a variety. They can shapeshift and stuff, but usually they're flying because nobody else can fly. These guys happen to be flying over the wall, so that the wall guard, goes after them. They land in a street after walking over some roofs and stuff, and the guards come up with their pole arms and swords, trying to detain them. One of the guards opens up a scroll that's supposed to help them identify if things are a dragon. But these guys hear this Escalorus, Blanus, Balloonus, and think, this guy's going to cast a spell on us. We don't know. So Brandon gets out his neuro whips that he has and knocks each of these guys out. And as they go escape, Reagan, the legendary Ronald Reagan, as he's a 20-year-old Time Lord on this world, shows up and offers them a place to escape to as other guards are looking for them. So they escapes into the house. They begin to discuss their situation, and as Ron's talking to him, hey, it's no big deal. These things happen. You're an Americans in Cleftlan with powers. He says the only other Americans here are basically Time Lords, travelers, immortals. And he's one of them. Little do they know that, well, as they find out, Audrey Hepburn is upstairs. She's also one, and she's visiting Ron. Yeah. Anyways, Ron makes them breakfast, and then Sam shows up. Boom! Into this little tiny house. More discussions of things to go on. And does he show up in the house? Yes. Well, and sorry guys, slowing down a little bit, keeping going. Well, Manford, what's his last name? Manford. I'm trying to look it up here. Manford Richenthofen, the Red Baron. He shows up, and it's like, yeah, because he previous night before was looking for Chris Ritz, and Chris Ritz was a TL here, and I don't know, you guys never got to learn this of this world, but he had made a deal that to work with the Red Baron. But the Red Baron is there. Reagan, where's my guy at? And Reagan's like, he's not here, and who's these other people? Blah blah blah, and some discussions ensue. Reagan has also decided that he is going to leave to get these guys some suits and try to find these guys a job, something to do in Cleftlan, because adventuring doesn't make any money and doesn't put food on the table. Or does it? Maybe they'll find out something next week. Well, or this is the world that we're going to be playing when I don't have every player available, and we'll see. Okay. Next. So that's where we left our heroes in Cleftland. And now we go to Blackworld. Blackworld. Where we last left our heroes in Blackworld, they were all in the Fantasia device, going through a variety of adventures to chill out and get to know each other, each of these teams. Firstly, Omega Dawn. Omega Dawn is in their camping at Grand Canyon scenario. All hiking, they make it to the canyon. The team breaks off, flying around. Oh, and Omega Dawn quickly is Adriana Tomas, Megan Morse, Zatanna Zatara, Calvin Rakin, Sam Guthrie, Alan Scott and Big Barda. Yeah, Big is, I guess, her family name. And it goes in front of her name. Well, anyways, that's along with Christopher Lord. They fly around and, get to experience a little bit. Calvin's getting to experiment with other people's powers, which is cool to him. People using mental things, trying to get to know each other, which is kind of cool. And at the same time, in another Fantasia device scenario, the Argonauts have sailed a boat into a lagoon in some Tahitian-like island, and the Argonauts are made up of Hope Spaulding, Batman, Monet, St. Croix, Charles Xavier, David Adeline, Tessa Sage, and Minnie McCready. They're like I say, they're getting to know each other. They're trying to get to know Batman a little bit better. He doesn't have the cowl on, and but he's kind of, is this really Batman? Who is he without Gotham? They're trying to wonder that, especially Charles. Hope and Alex play on the beach, get some coconuts, and drink coconut milk, and try to use their knowledge. It's kind of, I know this isn't like, hey, battle stuff, guys, but you want battle, we take you to Cleftland, where we last left our heroes in Cleftland, day 2, off the coast of Avalon. Our heroes, made up of several royals known as Triton, Coral, and Dolphin Moore, Xander, the scion of Hastings, and Zara Lord, Matt and Elise Prentice, Crow Ritz, and Morgana Pendragon are all on the lightning ship Brent. They realize that these 3 Gorgons that they're looking at, Ctheno, Urael, and Medusa, can turn them to stone just by video looking at them. So they create a computer image of them, CGI over top, so they can kind of see what's going on. The computer creates that. Yeah, the computer doesn't turn to stone. Why doesn't the ship turn to stone? It's magic. No, but it doesn't happen. Triton gets in the idea, hey, I'm going to turn into lobster form and teleport out to those guys and try to attack them. Well, and because the Gorgons are kind of breaking up into groups, and he's going to try to smash 2 of them together. He can't do that because he turns to stone, and it's a slow process. Maybe it's because he's energy or something being, but he's kind of solid now. Anyways, he does turn to stone, and the family freaks. Yes, his sisters, he's triplet, one of 3, and the sisters freak out. Well, Zara's like, hey, I already changed Coral back last week, so in the last episode. So she tries to calm them down. Well, anyways, Matt and Crow then decide, let's just use the ship's laser cannons to blast these Gorgons to death. So they do. And bam, they blow them up. Everybody but Medusa, she's falling in the ocean because they're right on the edge of the cliffs there. They all fall, body parts everywhere, and first they take out one first, and then they try to take out the other 2 without hurting Triton's stone statue. Matt maintains his telepathy and knows that one of the Medusa is her name, as she's falling down, body parts missing, turning fish to stone to the bottom of the ocean. At the same time, they also see out way behind them, there's a ship sailing out there, sailing along, coming towards this island. They don't know much about it, but after Zara goes in, brings Titan back to his lobster form, and then he turns back to human. They look at the map and they say, oh, there's a forge around here, the map that Triton had saved from Morgana's statue. They go to this forge, which is this cave. Go through the cave full of bones and stuff. And eventually enter a forge, a Sensi Knight forge. There is one on this island. Yeah, Sensi Knights are here too. For those who don't know what a Sensi Knight is, I mean, I've had them for 25 years in this game. If I've been doing these videos for 25 years, you surely would know. Sensi Knights, they're not like my Jedi. They have swords, not lightsabers. But they have similar abilities, mental, telekinesis. So they can do things. But anyways, they go inside the forge to make one of these Sensi Knight swords. They turn on the forge. Xander and Crow turn on one of the Sensi Knight. They find a Sensi Knight spaceship. They get it going. Take off out in space. And over the ocean. Take off. Flying out over the ocean. And who would have figured but a sea dragon is attracted to them, but they're zooming all over the place, that it winds up, first thing it sees is this ship full of elves. And the sea dragon attacks the elves. Yes, and it's broken in half, and they realize, oh my gosh, there's bad stuff happening there. Crow and Xander go there to save them. Because this is a big deal. I mean, a dragon. Dragons are bad. There'd be dragons. So Crow lands out on the ship, slowing down time, trying to get everybody safe. Only managed to save 8 out of maybe some 20 crew members on board this boat. This bark. If it might have been a bark. Anyways. And Xander flies the ship back, trying to pull the dragon towards, which he's doing is pulling towards the island. And then meanwhile, inside, Triton does create a Sensi Knight sword, but he finds out painfully that he cannot wield it. And nor can even... Who else tried? Oh, Elise tried to touch it. Pain. Yes, certain power sets cannot wield Sensi Knight swords. Just can't. Humans have a great time at wielding them, but, and Crow, bad idea. So... These guys find out that they can't, and they have a sword created. And also, more action that is going on in Cleftlan is down, and this is going on roughly at the same time as this Avalon adventure, is down by Cleftlan at Shadowspear. Shadowspear is a dark, scary-looking tower. It's about a mile southeast of Cleftland with a D. And a couple weeks ago, I told you that Seth had his dad's ship, lightning ship Juno, and he was trying to get in, and the place almost killed him. He calls his dad up now. He's in vehicle stowage, feeling a little bit better. Dad, what's going on with this thing? And his dad is the Duke, and the Duke lets him know, this is something I built decades ago, and check it out. But go get some people to help you with this little checkout. So he realizes that some of his other friends from the other clans on Red World are in Cleftlan. And that being CJ Ritz. And CJ is Carter Jr. He grew up with this guy. So he calls CJ and he's willing to work with him. And they figure... There was a Alex in town. We're trying to get as many gamer characters around. Alex elf self is Anders Prentice, and he has now become the emissary from the March to Cleftlan, and he lives in the Elven Quarter of Cleftlan. They get him. They all pick him. They pick him up, and then they all ride Juno back down to the Dark Tower, and then begin exploring this thing, starting from the top down this tower, because he can't enter the gardens. It kills everything. Nonetheless, so they go down into the tower, exploring the first floors or two, and they get through different doors, realizing one has got Egyptian stuff in it. The next one has somebody that's actually in it. It's like filled with darkness and shadow. They realize through a quick almost fight with this guy, they realize they meet this guy, and it's Darkon the Fifth. He tells him he is the headmaster of the Black Mages, the Shadow Mages school. And I think that's where we leave off. 25 minutes to cover all this stuff. There was a lot more to everything, guys. It was great adventuring. A lot of communication between people, which takes up a lot more of our gaming time. Oh, what I also forgot to fail to mention. If we go back to Cleftlan, without the D, some of the other adventuring also happened was that Chris Ritz woke up of this new day. Remember I said the Red Baron was looking for him? Well, Chris wakes up and he had stayed up really late waiting for Clover and her rock band get done at Ray's Rock House. It's called Random Factor. When they got done, she invited him up to her place. Yeah, platonic. I mean, he sleeps on the couch, whatever. But, 4:30 in the morning, and now it's like 9 or 10. He misses out meeting with the Red Baron. Anyways, he showers, cleans up, got a swimsuit, so he leaves the residence knowing that most of the band is asleep. Joel wakes up at the Holiday Inn across the street from Ray's Rock House, up on the second floor. He's boarding with a bunch of Reds, 5 Reds that 5 of the 7 that he accidentally created when he killed a bunch of goblins. These Reds are kind of loyal to him, and they get up, clean up, and shower, and get ready to leave the Holiday Inn. Meanwhile, down south in Mifflin, this is the realm of Cleftlan without the D, and we have Ray, who has woke up on board the floating ship Cyclone. And as you guys don't know, that he took the floating ship Cyclone down there during the night. Well, it's morning now, and he's like, oh, I don't need to be here anymore. I am going to leave. He says goodbye to the captain and the first mate, Captain Sheena Majer, and her first mate, Beck. Z Beck, I believe was her name. Yeah. He says thank you, and he journeys through, and this is still 4:30 in the morning, so he's a little bit further back in time because there's some backstory that we're trying to fill in before the 9 o'clock appearance of the rest of Cleftlan. I usually don't try to do things out of time, but in this case we are. So he journeys in nighttime Mifflin through the dark streets, and turning left at Blackjack's Tavern, and heads to the Tower of Science. This isn't the same tyrants in the Tower of Science that is in where the Duke has it. There is no royals in this Mifflin, and he gets there, and he's trying to find a way to access the special rooms that he had left designed in a previous life, in another world. Anyways, so that's where we last left all of our heroes, and last for the gaming. If you have any questions, leave comments below. Subscribe if you like this content, or even hit like down in the corner, because I don't get paid for likes yet, but maybe someday I will. And adios. Hasta luego. See you next week. I'm going to game tomorrow with these guys and find out what's happening next. Peace.